What's going on, people? Welcome back to JSTV, back again. And this afternoon, I've got Shelly. Shelly, what's going on?
We're all good, mate. How's you?
I'm great. Not too bad. It's been a long time, man. It's been an awful long time because
It
of
has.
your work and that sort of thing. And, it's just so hard to get. Do you know what I mean? You're
I
just
know.
a lass in demand. Do you know what I mean?
You're right there, mate. After this weekend, honestly, I don't think my head stopped spinning yet.
Aye, tell us about it. Tell us about it. Do you know what? I mean, I've been quite busy as well, work-wise. I had to go to Elsby as well for 2 years. And I had to do a course and about the company because I've been in my job for 3 months and
Yeah.
I passed my probation as well, which is great. So I'm over the moon, man. I'm over the moon. It's just brilliant. And gosh, but what about your partner and the first one in the queue, right?
God,
Like,
yes.
it should have been me, but there you go. I'll let you off, but go on.
So I couldn't believe it. Like when you wake up at 12:15 and the other half's climbing out of bed and putting clothes on, you think to yourself, "Where on earth are you going?" And he goes, "Oh, can't sleep. I'm away to stand at the club shop to get in the queue for the shirts." Obviously, thinking it was going to be busy. I mean, you would think obviously Adidas coming back as a sponsor was enough to trigger people to go and stand outside. So off he goes, and he texts us when he gets there, and he's like, "Oh, I'm first one in the queue. There's nobody here." People apparently didn't start turning up till about 3:30, 4 o'clock in the morning. But shout out to the security lad that looked after him and fed him tea and coffee all night, and he had a bit banter with him. Mm-hmm. So I think he got interviewed by everybody and his dog on Friday, as did I to a point. I'd gone to work, clocked in, and he phoned us and he was like, "I forgot my tablets. Can you bring them round?" So I went round. And just as I'm turning up, Darren Eales is turning up, Peter Silverson's turning up. They opened the shop, obviously went in, got the shirts, come out in, I think he'd done about 20 interviews before he come in, another 20 interviews as he come out. He's been on just about every podcast going. I think he's on the Magpie channel. He's on the Three Amigos with Steve Wraith. A big shout out to a guy who's just starting out his podcast. I can't remember his name. I'm absolutely pants with names, but the Maroon Magpie podcast, the guy that does that, go and check him out, guys. He's an absolute gentleman. Took time out to stand and talk to both of us. Took some photos and that as well. So go and check him out. He's just starting up, so give him some love. The guy from Tyneside Life was there as well, so go and check him out. He was absolutely lovely as well. So yeah, like I say, I think we were interviewed by everybody and his dog. He was on news outlets, radio outlets, BBC Radio Newcastle were there. Honestly, it was just crazy.
Wow. It must have been so busy for you then, Shelly. Wow. Wish I was there because obviously I had to work on that day. If it was like a weekend, I would have definitely come up, man, because I tell you what, I've missed a fantastic day, a fantastic time, you know what I mean? But you know what? There's always other times. And I mean, look, queuing up for 11:45, 12 o'clock in the mornings. I mean, you know what, right? Big up to the people who queued up all night, man. Big up to them,
definitely.
You know, and I tell you what, I will do the same. So, guys, you'd like to feel like what you watch, make sure you smash that like button, hit subscribe button. Please show Shelly some love as well. Shell _Crawford 1, because she's number 1. And let's go for some comments as well. Big up to Peter as well. By the way, yesterday, I know we've seen some comments in yesterday. I've saw them, but it was today's show, not yesterday's show. It's my bad. So, big up to Peter, by the way, in the building. Burnley, I suppose, wanted 40 mil for Trafford. We're going to talk about him in a bit. Just go and get Maradashvili for the same price. It's a no-brainer. I mean, Peter, you're absolutely right. Out of the two, right? Let's talk about James in a minute, right? I mean, out of the two, right? Trafford's not worth 40 mil. Definitely not, right? Maradashvili is, because at the end of the day, right? I mean, you got to go for someone. I don't mind going for someone with a potential there, Shelly. Right? I don't mind at all. But at the end of the day, I'd rather buy someone at the ready, so it's going to come in and make a difference.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, as much as Paul had his injuries last season, and yeah, he did come back for the last game of the season. It was good to see him back. My thinking would be, if I remember rightly, Pope's now had this shoulder injury twice where it's dislocated. yes, granted, he's had the surgery to say that the shoulder won't go again, but what's to say it will go again? So you're going to need somebody that has a proven track record, can handle the pressure. I mean, I'm not saying that Trafford can't. If you think about it, Trafford was the one that saved the winning penalty in the Euros that Gordon played with in the under-21 squad. So he's got as much capability as anybody else, but at the minute, he's just been that much of a bench warmer and hasn't gotten the chance to play unless he's been playing in the under-21s. So like you say, Mamardashvili would probably be the better buy, but in the background, what's Eddie's thinking? What does Eddie see something that the fans don't? This is what we've got to look at. As much as we could all 100% say we want Mamardashvili, what's Eddie seen that we haven't?
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts. Excuse me. I will say it now. Nobody knows what's going on. Nobody knows what's going on in the transfer market. The rumours as well. I know Magpie Media gets a lot of stick. He does not deserve any stick whatsoever. Excuse me. I like the guy, right? And you know what? I always retweets his posts. Great guy. But show him some love as well. But I agree with you. I mean, look, for me, I won't go someone not know Eddie, but we got to see what Eddie say, if that makes sense. I got big up to Dip Panjan. Hope you are, mate. Hey to you, mate. Hope you're good. And I've got Ethan as well. Big up to Ethan. I'm appalled about the exclusive JD deal as I contacted JD again. And they said the Newcastle kit is all in selected shops. What is the point in that? Even I can feel your pain, man. Normally, I would just wind you up about the fine ward as well. I nearly fall for it. But you know what it is, right? Evan's a bit peed off because he rang up JD in Southend and he was told that they only do bid 6 clubs, 2 over the phone draft. Is disgraceful. I hope Ethan's complained about it, right? And I hope they come back on him. And when they do, give this guy a free shirt. What do you think, Shelly?
Yeah, if this is true, this is something that the club need to address as well. Because what is the point of signing an exclusive deal with JD if it's not going to be stocked in every shop? I mean, and then if they turn around and saying it is just big 6, then that's bias. I mean, every time I've got in JD, yes, you see the Man United, you see the Liverpools and things like that. But you see, well, that obviously you see like your Champions League teams and that as well. Excuse me. But if that is true, that's something that the club need to address, because what's not to say, like you say, Ethan's from Southend, what's not to say we've got 200 fans down there, and £80 times 200 makes numbers, and it's all revenue for the club.
Yeah, I totally agree. It doesn't matter where you go. You got the shops. JT's our main sponsor. Get the shirts in there. Get those Newcastle shirts in those shops, yeah? You're sponsoring them. Go over there and spread it about. Do you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. JD Sports, yeah? I'd love to get someone on there, me sure, yeah? Get them on. Come on, yeah? Get you on there. We'll fix you.
Definitely.
We're definitely going to cook them as well. Cook them and spice them up as well with a wooden spoon as well. Lee got a styly. So yeah, Ethan, make sure, right, you contact and let us know, yeah? I cannot believe Minteh is off for sale before he even's down the black and white. Sell long stuff instead. Bob, you're absolutely right. Big up to you, Bob, by the way, from Ireland, right? I'm not going to lie, but for me, in my opinion, right, I keep Minteh for the pre-season, see how he does, right? I'd rather keep him, right? I mean, Shelly, would you keep him? Would you just sell him for 40 mil? But I would not sell him to Liverpool, by the way.
Nah. I've just been watching Sky Sports News before I came in here. And personally, yeah, Longstaff, gone. See you later, son. And I've said that every time I've been on this podcast, I'd quite happily pack Longstaff's bags and off he goes. People are saying we wouldn't get 50 million for him. Probably not, but it's whatever we get is a start, right? Minteh, there is rumours that he's not going to be sold. We're going to keep him for at least another season and loan him back out. And rumours in the pipeline is Borussia Dortmund are looking at him.
Very interesting.
I would be very happy for him to go to Borussia Dortmund. After obviously doing Champions League at Borussia Dortmund, Dortmund are now a bit of a club in my heart. So yeah, I would be happy for Minteh to go to Dortmund. To sell him and not get him in a black and white shirt would be an absolute travesty, I think, because I do think he's got something. He's still, 18, 19 kind of youngish age, and he still needs to develop. Yeah, loan him out again, even if it's for half a season and we've got to recall him back. Loan him out, keep a hold of him for now, and evaluate next season. Let's see what position we're in at the end of this season coming up, and go, right, are we going to put him in a black and white shirt and give him first team action, or are we going to look at loan with a view to buy, because he's had a cracking season. Apparently he's scored for his country. And that's the kind of thing we want. Like you say, homegrown talent, youngins bringing through the ranks. And that's what we've done with Lewis Smiley. Lewis Smiley's just turned 18, I do believe.
Yeah.
And he's getting first team action. He's proven he can handle the first team action. He hasn't gone out on loan. And then bringing Minteh in at some point alongside Miley would be a good thing. But yeah, don't sell him. Just don't sell him.
Yeah, facts. And you know what it is? So I might have put on there on timeline, not sure. But okay, he's selling to Liverpool, right? Yeah. He scores a goal against us to win the title, right? I'll tell you something now, right? It'd be laughable. This is not.
There'll be hell to pay.
Oh, I'll be fuming, and I want to know whose decision to sell him, number one. Secondly, his decision, sack him. Sack him. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Who made that decision? Sack him. I'm telling you. But still, I hope he stays in Newcastle 100%. 36 has got to be rid of very, very quickly. I know we caused long staff 36, but they know why. Big up to Mick as well. Share the love to you, man. I hope you're well. The reports on Trafford must be false 40 mil, as reports said he was 20 mil relegation release clause. You know what? I mean, he is 20 mil, as far as I know. I wouldn't pay any more than that, if anything. Big up to Tony, by the way. I'll be jumping on later on, man. And I hope you're well. And do subscribe to Tony's It's All Black and White TV on his podcast as well. Yeah, he speaks facts as well. And big up to Alan as well. He's the one-up merchant. And Miggy needs to go before Minteh. You know what it is, right? I'll tell you now, right? If Miggy starts next season, right, if I was Minteh, I'd say, yo, I'll get as well. Wait, transfer list. I'll go on transfer list, man, and go to Dortmund and have a season on loan there. Do you know what I mean? Because I'm not going to be above Miggy. Because it's Miggy. Last season's form, right? It's poor, yeah? For me, 4 out of 10 for the season for me. I'm not going to lie, Shelly, but give Minteh a chance. Oh, and by the way, I'm going to Japan as well. And I hope he starts.
Don't rub it in. Don't rub it in. I
Sorry.
Yeah, as much as I'm a Miggy lover, and I think his work rate when he's on the pitch is astounding. I think it's time that they need to start looking at Miggy maybe sitting some things out on the bench and bringing him in. Is that extra energy that we need when the game's starting to go flat and we're starting to run out of legs. So I think Miggy this season, depending on what purchases are made, may become a bit of a bench warmer, which might stay in his head. I think it's about time that we do start looking elsewhere. But yeah, I think this season he's going to be a bit of a bench warmer and just there to bring on the extra pizzazz when we need it.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, look, we got to keep him in there. Miggy, at best, one bench. Otherwise, if you can get some money for him, get him away. But yeah, but you got to get the money in first. He's going to find. Yeah, shut up, man. He's doable, yeah? Get him, tell him, yeah? Sorry, I'm being sarky there. Sorry for the people on timeline as well. Big up to Lorraine, by the way. She's only 5 foot, by the way. And hope you're well. How to feel as well in the building. It's about how much floor space there is against how much money you make on merchandise. And sometimes, if there's not enough room to stock a line, it'll go online. That's very true because she used to work as in sales as well. And also, the thing is, if it's a kit launch, you would have thought the JD Sports first outlet would stick in store and in region store. And she goes, John, put my wooden spoon away.
Well, I know on the Friday morning when the kit went on sale, obviously we've got a few JD Sports in Newcastle, and the main one's on Northumberland Street. And I don't think there was a queue at all, or not much of a queue at JD Sports on Northumberland Street. Plus, as well, I think the queue, the temporary club store that we've got at the minute, while Adidas are doing the actual club store out, isn't massive. There's not a lot. I haven't been in it, but just looking at it from outside, there's not a lot of floor space in it. And when I popped round on the morning to see Kenny, the lads were already bringing boxes of stock, from the old club shop across the road to the new club shop with tops in. Because obviously, I know Adidas had, probably catered for the demand, but because the shop's not so big, I think they were going to spend all day running back and forwards with boxes of kit. Plus, as well, anybody that bought the shirt from the club shop, there was £5 from every shirt sale went to the NU Foundation, where JD weren't doing that. And I think a lot of people have turned around and gone, well, we'd rather go and pay the £80 at the club shop and queue to give a percentage to the NU Foundation. I mean, I know of a few people that had contacted me and said, do you know what the queue's like at JD Sports in the town? Because they didn't want to queue, because to be perfectly honest, that queue ran all day. There was rumours that Amanda Staveley apparently ended up in the Strawberry Pub, and at about 3-4 o'clock, somebody put a picture up on Twitter of the queue was still snaking round past the Strawberry Pub and round past the metro station of people still trying to get into the club shop to buy the shirt. That was at like 3-4 o'clock in the afternoon. So I know the guys in there probably had a very busy day. But if you wanted quickness where you just wanted in and out, JD was probably your best option that day.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I mean, look, I'd rather go to the club shop. Yeah, I know you got to pay more money. Yeah, but just in there for the vlogs and that. But I mean, JD, if you're going to get one of JD Sports, do it. Do you know what I mean? At least you got a shirt, Shelly. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I know a lot of people took a day off just to get in to the club shop, and they could be a bit frustrated. You know what I mean? Not to get that shirt, but like I said, I mean, next time to get a new shirt, maybe next month if I can get a day off, I'll do it. I'll come away. So, but
rumour has it the blue and burgundy shirt is a end of July release, and the white shirt with the old club logo on is going to be an August release.
Wow, I was hoping that I'll get it before mid-July sort of thing. The red and the burgundy one that looks really nice, doesn't it? It looks really nice. But I'm going to get it as soon as it gets out. Would either you sell Joe Willock if offers 25 mil deal comes in because of all this injury? That says Ethan. I say I still keep him. I'd rather keep him. Right?
Ethan, man, what a question!
He gets one more, yeah.
You can't do that on a Sunday afternoon, Howie.
Oh man,
no, it's a no. I like the kid too much.
I like Joe Willock. A fit Joe Willock can make a difference, yeah? If he plays like he does with the way under Steve Bruce, 14 goals, has 8 goals in 14 matches, he does that match fit. If Joe Willock plays a full season fit, this guy can get 15 to 20 goals a season from midfield, yeah? And he's an asset for us, you know what I mean? People say, oh, get rid of Joe. He's only, 25? 26, man. Still.
Now, if you turn around and said, look, you've got to sell Jacob Murphy or Joe Willock, then I probably would say Joe Willock. But what a question!
Wow! Don't upset Shelly, man. Not on a Sunday.
Not a day.
I tell you what, if you ask Jez Collins and Lee Goddard, both Arsenal fans, that sort of question on Matty, you got to come up all the way from here to flipping Scotland. John, would you sell Trips if you get a good offer? For me, Peter, I wouldn't sell him, but he is a leader. But what do you think, Shelly? Would you sell him to buy him to come away? Or I see, it's a hard one.
Personally, I've got a bit of a good feeling that after the Euros, Trips is going to pack in international duties. And I also have a good feeling that this is Trips' last season. I've heard rumours that apparently Bayern want him. I know Charlotte doesn't want to go back abroad. Obviously, they've been having problems abroad. That's one of the reasons why they came here, because they're closer to home and family.
Yeah.
And Trips is what? Bordering on 33, 34 now?
34 in September.
Yeah, I personally think this is his last season. And I would not be shocked if he angles at a position in the club somewhere. If I could put money on it, I would. I do think this is going to, the end of the Euros, Trips is going to announce retirement from international duties. And I think this will be Trips' last season at a professional level, full stop. I mean, I don't think if he wanted to continue playing, I think he might drop a few leagues and go like League One, League Two kind of thing, just for fitness levels and things like that. But personally, I can't see it. I think it is going to be his last season.
Yeah, I think you're right, Shelly, because look, he's been fantastic for us since he's come through the door, a pioneer. And I mean, a pioneer walking through that door, right? And all the other players come in, follow his lead. When you mentioned Kieran Trippier's name, okay, cool. I'll come and join you. That guy is a big name. He played for Atletico Madrid, a champion Atletico Madrid, played for Tottenham, done well, and plays for Newcastle. It's as simple as that, England international as well. But you know what? I'll keep him for one more year and then just go from there. So hopefully he might even retire with Newcastle. We'll see. Yeah. And that's a good question. Thank you for that, Peter. John, tell Liverpool, Miggy 36 dubs off for sale, but keep Minteh. I think the Southern media are causing trouble with our club yet again. I want to touch on that as well because Alan made a good point there. I mean, all it is Isak, Bruno, are they going, are they staying every single day, yeah? Would they, the media, say the same thing about Saka? No, they would not. Home Song. No, they would not.
The whole entire focus of the media is to rattle people, to spread false negatives, things like that. Personally, I don't think Miggy would fit Liverpool's style of play. But what is Arne Slot going to bring to the team this year? If it was Klopp and if it was still Klopp, I don't think any of them would fit into Klopp's team. I really don't. Longstaff, I think, might be a Southampton option. I think Southampton might. If you were to turn around and say, right, you've got to put these three into a team, right? You can put them in any team you want. I believe Longstaff would be a fit for Southampton. Dubs, probably a Southampton keeper. I think he would do well there. Miggy, I think Miggy might fit in Leicester. But none of them are Liverpool quality under Klopp. Like I said, I haven't really seen Arne Slot play. He's not really somebody that I've watched. I've not seen his managerial style. So Arne Slot could prove us wrong. They might all fit into what he wants. But if it was Klopp's regime, none of them would fit into a Liverpool squad.
I totally agree. I mean, Miggy, I wish him all the best if he decides to go. 36, if he goes to Leicester or Southampton, he'll fit there as well. Because I would own a trophy. I would own a trophy this season. I really do. And Dubs, like you said, suitable for Southampton, even at Leicester. I think he'd do well for either of those two teams, if you know what I mean. So if they want players from us, we'll be happy to do business with you. Big up to Gary D, by the way. Hope you're well, mate, and your family too. Just watched Paul's Toon review. Big up to Paul, by the way, says Bruno, if he was to leave Newcastle, he said he would like to go to Man City, and that's another bombshell. I tell you what, I don't know if that's true or not, right? They're just making up stories as they go flipping along, right? I mean, like I said, I ain't going to listen to that because at the end of the day, I'm not going to lie. Yet again, it's just media, Southern media again, right? Rattling us every single time, yeah? I think it's time now the club come out and say, look, Isak's not going anywhere. He wants to stay. Bruno is not going anywhere. If it's from July, come out and say Bruno isn't for sale. He's just bought a house in Newcastle. He stays, yeah? We're going to build a team around those two, right? If you go back to back in the late 90s, early 2000s, right? Close would have come out and said that. But now, clubs don't come out and say that. They just don't come out and say anything. Do you know what I mean? Silence is golden wherever you go. For me, I would say, look, see what happens, Gary. But as far as I know, I think he'll stay. I think he'll definitely stay.
Yeah, Bruno, like you say, Bruno's just bought a house up here. And I do believe he has said lately, obviously, while he's out with the Brazil squad, to say that he's happy in Newcastle. He's idolised, which I don't think he would get at Man City at all. His family love it here. They're all happy and settled. He knows the club's going places. So I don't think... I mean, look at it realistically. We're in June. Well, what? 9 days into June now, right? Officially, his clause in his contract is, ready to, if anybody wants to trigger it, now is the time. They have until the end of this month, right?
Yeah.
If anybody was that desperate for Bruno, that would have been pinged by now. When 9 days into June, why hasn't it been pinged? Oh, hold on, because nobody can afford it.
Facts. Absolute facts. Do you know what I mean? City's got the money, yeah? Arsenal's got the money, yeah? Don't talk about it. Make us an offer. But he's going to turn them down anyway. Let's be real. I'm not going to lie. You know what it is, right? I mean, look, you said they can't afford it, right? They want to pay in installments, yeah? You rather take the whole lot. But I'd rather keep Bruno, Isak. If you're going to win titles, you win cups and that, we've got to keep those two players. They're the bedrock for the team. Yeah. They're the bedrock, and I mean the bedrock. Yeah. And you just got. I want to be ambitious, yeah. Real talk, yeah. I want to be ambitious, Shelly. Simple as that. My guy Adam P apparently got his top from JD Sports, but it's only a small store. It has limited spaces. Well done, Adam. And JD should have followed and leave for Newcastle and donate £5. Looks bad if they're a sponsor. I can't agree, Lauren.
Lorraine makes a very valid point there.
100%. 100%, man. Totally agree. Just been to JD at Biker. Plenty of shirts, not much training kits. Do you know what?
Mick, if you've been to Biker JD, don't you be knocking on my door for a cup of mind?
I might get two, because I'm going to need it for Japs. Japan, I mean. And the wonderful Tokyo, I'm coming. And don't think there is Minteh. Minteh, 36, Amiron, Wilson, Dubs, and possible trips to Sword. Well, I tell you what, we've got to try. We have got to try.
Callum Wilson's got to go. I mean, where do I start? Like, I could ramble on about Callum Wilson all day, but he's got to be first on the list to go. I mean, yes, when he comes on, he scores, but he spent more time on the physio's bed than what he has on the pitch, right?
Yeah.
We could at this moment in time, depending on the way things are going with this Man City court case and everything else, FFP, all this rubbish and God knows whatever else, that's just absolutely do my head in. If we can afford to go out and buy a striker, we will go out and buy that striker, and it'll be, see you later, Callum, off you go, right? If we buy a half-decent or top-class striker, that means your team will be built around Isak and this other striker, Bruno, Joe, and Sandro. And then you go backwards from there and build from there.
I agree. Simple as that. Just get them in. Let's compete. I mean, Toon's got a good point in a minute as well, by the way, but Callum Wilson, for me, I love it a bit. He's like a blow, but for me, I think he needs to find another club because of his injury record and that. He's been fantastic for as simple as that. And Trips and Wilson are aware, as they both don't feature in the Adidas ad and they have not been photographed in the new kit. That's very interesting, Shelly.
It is, but it's not, right? And take it from somebody that worked that Adidas advert, right? There was quite a few people didn't work it. Right? Obviously, Trips has got commitments, and I think Wilson's huffed a few people with things that he's done. But there was quite a few that we know that didn't work that Adidas commercial, right? Yeah, I know Trips and Wilson were two of them. But you've also got to look at, yes, Lewis Miley spotted, but bear in mind there was 2 Adidas commercials done. 2. Yeah. 2, and I know that. I worked them both. Lewis Miley only worked one of them, right? Yeah. Dan Burn only worked one of them, right? Dan Burn actually wasn't it. The big one that was put out the other night just before the kit was dropped. I don't remember seeing him. I don't know if the other half saw him, but I don't remember seeing Dan Burn. Miggy wasn't there. So what does that say to you as well? So like I say, not everybody was there, so it's not because we're there that they're going to be sold. Not exactly 100%.
Yeah. All we got to say, wait and see what pans out. Yeah. We'll see by the new season, end of transfer window. After that, we've got a clear picture. It's as simple as that. And John, would you swap Minteh for Bobby Clark for Liverpool? Oh, that is a tough question, Mick. I'm going to have to put a star on that one. We're going to come back for them. We have a think about it and let you know at the end of the show, mate. That is some question. Chatters, would you swap Minteh for Bobby Clark? Leave it in the comments, people. Leave it in the comments. Guy Bruno's going nowhere. They will not have modelled next season's kit. There's your answer. Tony's got a good point, by the way. Big up to Tony. Man City have an email from a club director from another PR club claiming the sponsorship rules put through 6 months after our takeover to suppress the Toon and its collective lobbying. And he said also it is also anti-competitive. Just going to read this comment quickly. We're going to come on to that in a minute, Tony. Yeah? Leicester looking at 36 for 15 mil. I tell you what, I'll drive him. I'll drive him there. I'll tell you what I'm picking up, right? I'll pick you up. I'll drive back to Leicester because I'm on my way back anyway. Don't worry about the bill. I'll drop you off there, my guy.
Yeah, exactly.
So, tally ho. One thing's Minteh was telling Newcastle. Gary, I hope that is the case. That is after long stuff. You know what? Cook it up. I guess that wooden spoon, by the way. Like and subscribe, guys, and support this great channel. Ethan, thank you very much indeed. Share the love to my guy. Share the love. PSR goals, keeper 20, 4 striker. PSR, big team Chelsea, Man U, buy a sell. Newcastle Villa. Yeah, I know what you mean. Mate. Well, top players want to sign for City at the minute with the 115 cases coming November. Oh, they will. Don't worry about that. Of course they will. You two excited for the new signing to Man U? Yay!
I cannot wait to get that kid back on this pitch. I really can't. I like a kid in a sweet shop. Like, I'm just seeing what he brought before everything happened. Just get him back on the damn pitch.
Yeah. Fan Sancho. That's the one. Get him back on that pitch, man. Some teams may have the money to buy, but if they do, the spend goes on this year's account until the end of June. That's a fair shout, Pete. Afternoon to Jops. Yeah, 33 minutes on, and he's arrived. Big up Jops, man. The so-called top 6 in the Prem after our players. Why did they not come for our players when Ash was in charge? Just shows as no, we are scaring those top teams. Alan, you're absolutely right. Right.
Let's get this right. Right now, I was reading something on Sky Sports on the app the other day.
Yeah,
and it's not the big 6 anymore. It's now the big 7.
That's
absolutely that includes us. I was like, hold on. What am I reading here? Yep. Apparently, it's now the big 7.
Yep, and we're a part of the big 7, whether they like it or not. You know, get used to it. And if you don't like it, go and cry to your mum. Go and cry to in your bedroom. Go and cry for your mammy. Go and cry to the 4 walls, yeah? But don't come crying to us because we tell you where they go. Simple as that. After we walked away from the Tossen deal, who do you think want as the other centre-back signing after Kelly? I think that's going to be the one because Dan Burns play at the back. Damon Shark play at the back. The problem with this, though, right, if Kelly does come, right, he'd be on the 30, him and Botman. All the other defenders is 30 and above. Shah's 32. The Cells is 30. Yeah. Burns 33. Coming on 33. Right. We need a defender with pace at the back. I think Lloyd Kelly, if he comes, then I'll back this guy. You know what I mean? But he's been linked to Atletico Madrid and Roma by all accounts. But we'll wait and see. Bobby Clark's a good player. Tony, we'll come back to that in a minute, man. 6 weeks, not months. I wonder we got months from, but big up, man. And we'll talk about that. Paul says he would take Longstaff on a bike to Leicester City for 50 mil. Yes! He would have. And if you upset him, yeah, dude. We're looking at a young defender from Juventus. Yes, we are, man. Yes, we are. But Juventus might want to keep him. I think they may want to keep him. Take a look at him as well because he's done good for Roma. And think, hang on a minute. This guy's got potential, so we're gonna keep this guy. But going back to Tony's comment, Shelly, right, about Man City, right? I mean, apparently the Premier League's being told they got to send emails, WhatsApp, and all the other emails, etc., to through the courts. Yeah, Man City's going to take them to court, right? About this corruption and arbitration as well, about unfair trading. Yeah, who is going to win this?
Well, this is going to be very interesting because obviously Man City are now suing the Premier League. Me and my other half have had this conversation a few times, and we sort of think that Man City know that they are not going to win these 115 charges, right? They know they are up poop creek without a paddle, basically, right? So we think they've sat down and gone, right, we haven't got a cat in hell's chance of winning these 115 charges. We're going to be stripped of titles. We're going to end up in probably League Two, this, that, and to that, blah, 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 blah. We're going to lose all our top players because nobody will want to drop that far down. What can we do to preserve our identity, let's say? Let's sue the Premier League, right? They're going to go to the Premier League and go, right, we're suing you because of A, B, C, D, and E. The Premier League are going, well, we're going to sue you because of all these 115 charges. They're all going to sit down at a table and basically behind closed doors, they're going to turn around and say, right, let's come with an off-the-table agreement and go, right, we won't charge you if you've dropped the case. And it'll be, right, okay, fine, champion, no bother. It'll all get brushed under the table and we will never hear about those 115 charges ever again. They'll not get a fine. They'll not get dock points. They'll not get dropped leagues. It'll just get brushed under the table. Just you watch.
So you're saying, right, that we're going to take you to court, right, arbitration, and we're going to say to you, you know what, you don't take us to court, then we're not going to forget about the 115 charges. We call it quits. They shake hands on it, slap on the wrist behind the scenes, right, and a fine. We're not going to tell them you're going to get fined. Basically, don't do it again.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Wow.
If the Premier League do push this, I will be very, very shocked. If Man United do get done for these 115 charges, my jaw will hit the floor. But I'm telling you now, I think Man City know they are absolutely knackered with these 115 charges. And they've just gone, let's just sue the Premier League and just go. And it'll just be a stalemate. What do you want? What do we want? Right, okay, shake hands, like you say, done.
And that's it. And they just carry on as nothing happened.
What's it? Man City are supposed to go to court in November with these 115 charges? I bet you it doesn't even make court.
I don't think they got it. I don't think, but looking at this, Shelly, they haven't got a chance. I don't think they got a chance. But nobody knows. I mean, people like Mancunian Waste watching the show, I'm sure, and also Gondorian as well is watching the show as well. So we've got to be careful what we say. But
I mean, I would be interested to hear, like, from their point of view of what they've got to say.
Yeah.
But from an outside view, I like Man City. I like Pep. I like watching them play. I just think that Man City, like I say, know that they're going to lose these 115 charges. And like you say, they don't want to lose face kind of thing. And it's going to end up being a stalemate and just brushed under the carpet.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I would not be surprised if I came out, Shelly, and say, look, let's forget about this. You know what I mean? Because the Premier League don't want to be embarrassed. They don't want their brand to be tarnished by Man City holding submission. And Man City don't want to get be the face of the same fight first side. You know what I mean? So we're going to see what happens. And I will try and get Mancunian Weir and Patrick or Grandonian Zombie channel. And that'll be a channel worth watching again. So I'm going to try and get them on this week if I can, if they're not busy. John and Jelly, do you think if Man City lose, they would pull away from the Premier League, start their own league, which is the Super League? I tell you what it is, right, Alan, that's a fair question. I tell you what as well, the Premier League is the Super League. You know what they're doing? That's what they're doing. That's why they got this PSR thing coming in, yeah? So the big six, right, can spend what they want. People like us, Villa, West Ham, can't go over it. Do you know what I mean? And the reason, and I think you know for yourself, the reason they brought this in is because of our takeover. That's all it is. If the takeover hasn't happened, this FFP PSR would never have come in.
Yeah.
But I tell you one thing, again, a lot of people are saying to me that Man City have to win this. And it just opens a whole thing. I'll tell you something now, right? I'm going to say this now, and people in the chat, right? Real Madrid have just signed, I think it's a 4-year deal in these sponsorships, right? 75 million a season. Not over 5 seasons, 75 million a season. Yeah? Now, if Richard Masters was the chief executive of La Liga and said, no, you can't have that, I tell you what, he won't have a leg to stand on.
Yeah.
Real Madrid returning to Paella, yeah? So if they can get away with 75 million a season, why cannot clubs like City and ourselves have a deal worth 75 million a season?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Yeah.
Why is it being this rule? I don't understand it. Do you know what I mean? Let the team manage how they want to do it.
Yeah. I mean, I have heard rumours that there is going to be a Super League start if this happens. But we had this the last time. They were going to pull away into a Super League, and the Premier League came down and said, "You do that." And look at what did happen. Once again, Premier League, no, not allowed to happen. We're going to sue you, and they were all allowed to pick their own right? So you tell me.
I'll tell you what it is, right? I mean, if it happens, I think it will be a Super League. I don't want to be a Super League, but a Super League will come. Yeah, it's only a matter of time because once this FIFA, UEFA brings this in, there's always going to be one winner. Yeah, it's as simple as that. I mean, Juventus wants it as well, and also Barcelona because of the money. Yeah,
Yeah, because Barcelona need the money. Simple as that.
100%. I've got 40 people watching the show, by the way. Thank you very much indeed. Do smash the likes as well. Do show some love to Shelly as well. Do follow on social media as well. And numbers has gone up as well on me subs as well. Thank you very much indeed. I really appreciate that as well. I think I've got 9,000 subs as well. So it's all about hard work as well. So thank you very much for your love and support as well. I wish all clubs for one season. I mean, all clubs in the Prem say, let's all break PSR rules or take a points deduction and fine. That's a good shout even. Now, for
that
us, would be, I tell you what, the Premier League wouldn't know where to start, man.
No.
They won't. And you know what it is, right? If Man City broke the rules, right, or like Everton broke the rules, they got like a 6-point deduction and a 2-point deduction, I think it was. And Forest had a 4-point deduction. I tell you one thing now, had that been us, they would have thrown the book at us. They would have given us something like 30 points deduction. They would have given us a 30 points deduction. And I tell you one thing now, right? We take them to arbitration. We take them to the highest court of the land. We have the best lawyers in the world because the Saudi can pay what they want. And let's be real, right? They haven't got to let this stand on the Premier League. They haven't.
It would be funny if that happened. It really would. Yeah, I think the Premier League's head would absolutely fall off if that did happen.
Yeah, and if that gets pouched under the carpet, then Forest and Everton may have something to say about that, as both of them got points deducted. John and Shelly, thank you, Gary. You're absolutely right.
Which they've got every right to. I mean, you can't just let one team off 115 charges,
and
then absolutely spank the crap out of Forest and Everton for what they've done. That it's just not fair. And I think if that did happen, the likes of other clubs would probably back Forest and Everton and say, look, we'll give you money for you to go to court and challenge the Premier League, because why should Man City get away with it if you can't?
Yeah, and the thing is as well, what I don't get is, right, I mean, look, this would never happen, years ago. This would never happen. It never happened until now. This is just getting messy and messy and messy. Big up to Alan T, by the way. I hope you don't mind me calling Alan T, Alan. And John and Shelly, Man City will be charged. Why is it that the press think it's the end of football? If Man City wins, was it not the end of football before these rules were not in place before 21? Oh, good question, Alan. Good question. I mean, look, at the end of the day, they knew it, right? But they can count on spending what they want. But what do you think of that one? Big up to Alan. Hard one.
Yeah, it's a cracking question, and he's right in a way. I mean, the massive change in the whole of the Premier League since obviously we took on our Saudi owners is just, I think they know that, yes, Saudis are trying to take over stuff. They've got the money to. Sometimes what a lot of people can't see is that the Saudis are trying to make things a little bit better. Yes, I know people start preaching human rights and things like that, and yes, I totally get that. But somebody's scared of something somewhere that we don't know about, and it's just weird. It really is. I mean, if we took the league back to the early 90s, 2000s, right, and ran the league as it was without all this politics and bollocks and all this money and things like that, like, we wouldn't be having £100 million transfers with £100 million release clauses and wages of £1 million a week and things like that. People would have to make an honest living, because it sounds a bit weird, but if you think back in the day when 90s to 2000, right? For instance, your players used to be on maybe 25, 30 grand a week, right? Yeah. And they had to work hard for that money. They had to keep themselves fit. You couldn't just be a bench warmer and expect to get your wages every week, right? Yes, the game has evolved massively over the years. I'm still a firm believer in pay as you play, right? But like, say for instance, Callum Wilson. Callum Wilson's been one of these ones that he's played, and then he's been injured, then he's played, then he's been injured. I mean, Howard, he had a pectoral injury, kept him out for what, 2 or 3 months? Yeah. A pectoral injury, right? That's like me pulling a muscle in my chest, right? I've still got to go to work, but no, he's getting £100,000 a week roughly. And he's just sat going, I'm getting £100,000 a week. I'll just play on this pectoral injury because I don't really fancy playing. It's that to that. I'm still a firm believer of pay as you play, right? Yeah. If you play, you get paid. If you don't play, you don't get paid. If you get injured, you get half your wages. It's going to push players to become stronger and come back fitter.
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts. When is that going to happen? I don't think it'll ever happen, unfortunately. They still play the full whack, but you know what? Whoever does that, the first club who does that, big up to them, by the way. Big up to Orly, by the way. I hope you well. I hope Orly comes back on the show soon. And you know what? He speaks facts as well. And I hope you're well, big man. All these supports by FFP is getting on my nerves. I'm afraid it's just going to keep going on and on and on, really. But I can understand your frustration, my guy. I'm sure our owners have us okay, and sales are just to freshen up the squad and boost the coffers in this window. That's a fair shout, really. Absolutely fair shout. Pepper said this might be his last season. City must know what's coming with these 115 charges. That's from Pete. You know what it is? I think Pete's comment just says it all, done it. I mean, he must know what's coming. People are earning Haaland as well. Kevin De Bruyne knows what's coming.
I do think this will be Pep's last season as well. I mean, Pep, I watched that day. We are Man City on Amazon, right? And just watching him as a manager is something to behold. Like, he's an absolutely fantastic manager, and maybe one day in the future, I would love for him to come to Newcastle. I think he would be a cracking manager, but within the next 5 to 10 years, possibly, right? I mean, he's been at Man City and he's just about done it all now, right? Yep. You can hand on heart, turn around tomorrow and say, you know what, I'm not coming back next season. I've done it all. I don't need to prove myself. And I would be upset that Pep's going to walk away, but like I say, he knows what he's done. He knows what he's capable of, and he knows what he's achieved over them years. But yeah, he'll be in the loop of what's going on in that club, and he'll be making that decision. Going, do I stick around in case I get fined or whatever, or banned or that? He'll be in the back of his head, and he'll be watching that. He'll be watching everything very, very closely.
Yeah. That's absolutely. For me, I think the next Newcastle manager, for me, if Eddie does get the England job, I hope he doesn't. But if he does go, I'm backing this people. Yeah, for me, Diego Simeone or Michel Sanchez. One of those two managers I would take. If it's Pep, it's a I don't think it'll be Pep, but for me, it would be either Diego Simeone, right, or Michel Sanchez for Girona. Those are my top two choices as next manager. And I tell you what, they would take that football club forward as well. Pepper says, I read that. Thank you very much, Mr. McCardle. Try and get Richard Masters on your show. I am sure myself and the chat will have some questions for him. Do you think I should get Richard Masters on my show?
Yeah. Go for it, mate. Go for it.
And you know what? If I get him on, you'd be coming on as well, Shell. I'll get you on as well. If I get a big name, you're coming on as well. And I tell you what, you probably give him some rice as well, or Declan Couscous, meaning Declan Rice. I'd never come Declan Couscous anyway sometimes. Lawrence thinking that Pina, let's clarify his comments as well. What I don't get is how Chelsea are still spending now buying Estevial for 30 mil. Cracking player, by the way, come from Palomemos, yeah. When they have to sell for PSR by the 30th of June. that's a fair shout. And
what's not to say that they're doing what you said earlier? Maybe it's just blowing the budget, not selling for PSR, and are just going to take the hit at the beginning of the season. I wouldn't be shocked at Chelsea. I mean, how they blew $1 billion last season, and look at where they came.
Yeah, I agree. It's ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. In Shelly, I've said this for a month. Base on wages and then pay for wage and then pay for performance. Fat, absolute fat. Second, Barnes would be skint then. That's in Mackie J. Big up to Mackie J, by the way. That will never happen. That's in Philip B. Hope you well.
It probably won't. It probably never will, but you know, I think
he called the gal as well, by the way. He called the gal as well.
I mean, like I say, I think years and years ago it should have been something that was considered. It would put a cap on a lot of stuff nowadays. It would stop you. It would stop the likes of Mbappe or Ronaldo or whatever, whoever earning £1 million a week and just going, I'll come on for 30 minutes, then decide to get subbed off, and I've just earned a week's wages for 30 minutes.
Yeah, sub for sub, eh? I'll tell you what, I'd rather play football. And if you don't get in the first team at Newcastle, get yourself a new club. Because at the end of the day, you're a footballer, that's your profession, and you've got to go out there and play your football, right? Not sit on the bench every week. Simple as that. Get yourself out there and play out, yeah? Kevin De Bruyne, right? Play for Chelsea, right? Couldn't get in the team. I said, sod that. I'll go to Wolfsburg and get first team football there. Do you know what I mean? Muddy didn't enter his heat. We went straight to Wolfsburg, couple year there, and then play for Man City. Just 10 weeks after I took over, yes, Liverpool and Man U have dominated football. Now Man City, where were the rest of the football saying it's the end for football in my lifetime? No, stop Newcastle. That's fair enough. Other clubs fans say we need to sell it, doing me heat. Pep and Jose love Newcastle and speak highly of Bobby Robson-Kishon. Do you know what it is like? I love the con, but this PSR thing might just put them off, I'm afraid. I'm not going to lie. Bobby Wilson.
I think he means Robson.
Oh, Robson, sorry. Thanks, Shell. Sorry about that, my bad. Bobby, when came to Newcastle's manager, the first player when he wanted his Pep. That's fine, I've got it now, Kush. Thank you, man. We'll be a great City playing Gitsen next year in the Conference League. Oh, man. I tell you what, tickets will be a seller after game number 1. And Eddie has said he's not given the England job a second thought. He did say it's something he would consider years down the line, but money talks. That's from Lorraine. Money does talk as well. Can you see clubs taking control of their own TV rights to make more cash?
Well,
you never know.
Well, I don't know if anybody's been on the Newcastle website at the minute. I do think they are still working on it. Obviously, I can't access my season ticket at the minute to download it, which, you know, I'm not panicking about. You know, season hasn't even started yet. Don't get us wrong, the whole new website looks amazing. It looks a lot better than what we had, to be perfectly honest. I have heard and seen a few comments that obviously we have NUFC TV.
Yeah.
And I have heard something along the lines of you've now got to start paying for it, even if you are a season ticket holder.
That doesn't sound right. They're just trying to find money every single way. Look, we've got a cost of living crisis, right? Season tickets gone up, yeah? Not going to lie. They've got to travel up from Bristol to Newcastle, and not just me, but other people as well, Shelly. Mm-hmm. And yet, they want more money off us. Yet, we paid for football shirts as well. Do you know what I mean? I'm sorry, but give the fans something back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah?
Give us something back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah? And I'll tell you what, people ain't going to pay for that. Do you know what I mean? No. People are not going to pay for that. But just give us something back. And what are your thoughts on our academy? I'll tell you what. What do you think, Shelly? I'll let you go first.
Ethan, are you talking players or the actual sort of like ground and establishment we've now got? Players, I do think we are doing well. The academy training ground just absolutely, I've not seen it in person as much as I would love to. It just absolutely looks phenomenal. And if you think about it, somewhere where you're training and can get sort of like everything you need, it sets you up for your day, I do believe. So I think obviously redoing the training ground in the academy and things like that first was probably a step in the right direction, because if you get the youngsters are coming in with an academy and they're going, wow, we've got all this, we've got like, you know, we're getting a mix with the first team players, we get like specially catered for diets and things like that. You know, we've got all these mod cons. It's going to stop people from coming in going, oh, it's just an academy. They've got the bare basics. Don't really want to be here when Man City's got this, or Man United's got that, or Chelsea's got this, right? And it's going to stop the academy players from going, actually, I want to go and play for Chelsea or whoever. I do think, obviously, by building up the academy and the training ground first was probably a very good idea, because it's people always say first impressions make the person or make the thing. So I think, obviously, 15, 16, 17-year-olds walking into that going, wow, this club's sort of like here for it now.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, look, if we can just get better players to come through, we'll not be very far. You know what I mean? But it takes us that time. It's going to take us years and years and years to get to where we want to be. Alfie Harrison's going to come good, by the way. I really do think this kid's going to come really good, and I believe he will. And how do you think the women's team will do next season? Well, they're ripping the team up and start again. They're going to make that big push. There's one player I'd love to see, right? If you do get up, it's Toon, but that's never going to happen anytime soon. And I just hope, I really do hope that Newcastle will make it to the Women's Super League. And I tell you what, that's going to be a lot. It's going to be spent with the last.
Well, me and Kenny actually went out on holiday at the end of May. We went out to Benidorm for a few days, and actually on our transfer coach were some of the lasses from the women's team. They just had a pre-season. Well, I'm saying a pre-season, a wind down week in Tenerife, and then some of them were going on a hen party in Benidorm. And my other half was eavesdropping a conversation, and obviously we ended up having a good bit chat with them, and obviously congratulated them on last season and things like that. Asked them how they felt for next season, and they say they feel strong and great. They're looking forward to next season. They are obviously aiming for the top, which is a good thing, but obviously they're saying they're going to take each game as it goes and see how things go. They're saying if they can aim for top 10 would be perfect. You know, I mean, would love for them to go up and win it. But I think top 10 is a reasonable site to set yourself on for going up, because you just can't expect miracles overnight. So yeah, they are all feeling positive and great and happy. And they were a lovely bunch to have a bit chat with. They took time with when I had a bit crack on the coach, and and said, look, if you bump into her when we're out, come and you're more than welcome to come and have a drink with her, kind of thing. So yeah, they're all excited for next season. They really are. Yeah,
and we are as well. We give another 10 more minutes before we wrap up the show as well. I know you've got a lot on as well. John Shea, do you see the Stella Shaw on the key side? I saw the clips on the mouth on the time clip as well. That is absolutely stunning, Alan.
I didn't. I was at work last night, but I have just watched it before we came on here. And wow, just wow. Like it's like I keep saying to my other half. I mean, like I say, Darren Eales came out on Friday, obviously, shake hands with the first few people in the queue, obviously queuing up for the new shirts and things like that. Thank them for that continuing support. And then Stella, like last year, put out all those drones, and then obviously have pulled this out the bag on the side of the Baltic last night. I mean, we've getting these owners, and you just sit and go, they pull that out the bag and then go, how can they top that? And then go and do something else, and you go, wow, never ever thought of that in a million years. And then you go, how do you top that? And then they'll pull something else out the bag. It was unbelievable, and the fact that they put the tribute into Bobby as well did bring a tear to my eye. But it was phenomenal. But I've also seen a lot of comments as well going, ooh, when they did the shirt with the drones, and obviously it goes from 1 to 11. People are going, oh, it's stopped at 11. Does that mean that we're getting a new player or this, that, and to that? No, there's 11 players in a team. That's why it's just stopped at 11. Yeah. And then they're going, oh, well, Bruno wasn't in the video, or Joe Linton. It was mainly focused on, like, there was Lewis Smiley, Dan Byrne was in quite a bit of it, Isak was in it, and people are going, oh, is that another saying that these aren't going to be there? They haven't been part of it. No, it was just a video that was put together, and hats off to Stella for absolutely producing something that, oh, wow, just wow.
Absolutely. Big up to Salah for putting on that show. Big up for the people who turned up yesterday as well. I'm going to have to move up to Newcastle again in the future. You just never know. And I don't miss all these things, don't I? So, John Shelly, if Man City wins, PSR will be destroyed. That's why all the press are against City and indirectly Newcastle. Get the popcorns out, guys, and watch what happens in arbitration. Do you know what? That should be shown live. I'm telling you.
Yeah, this is going to be a very interesting 2 weeks. Let's put it that way.
Exactly. In Euros week as well. I know it's a long way heat, but do you think we'll eventually build a new stadium in Releases Park? For me, I love to happen, but you can't move. It's a hard one because
to be perfectly honest, I don't think that's ever going to happen. The reasons why, with my job, we have to use part of Releases Park for helicopter landings. And yes, where the helicopter's not landing at the minute. I mean, yes, we do have a helipad on top of the hospital for the air ambulance, but over the last few weeks, we've had the Coast Guard in quite a bit. So you've got cattle-free grazing the land, and if the Coast Guard's going to land, we've got to have police that have got to go up and clear the area. And even if we were to move the ground up, I don't think it would happen because you still need a fast area to land that helicopter. And if we were to have 2 or 3 helicopters coming in at any one point, which can happen, I think it's too dangerous to be near the club, especially if it was on a match day. I mean, say a helicopter was to land at 5 o'clock as the match is kicking out, and you've got to keep 52,000 fans in that ground. There's going to be a lot of chewed off fans because a lot of people need to get home for work or catch buses and things like that. So personally, I don't think the ground will ever be moved. I really don't.
I'm going to be honest with you. I wanted to be moved, but no, I look back on that thinking I believe in history. I believe in tradition. But for me, I don't think it's going to move anytime soon. I also moved stadium. Spurs moved stadium. City moved as well. Even Sunderland, that's not going to happen. I just can't see it happening to us, but it's got to be there. It's got to stay there. It's history. And everyone around the world knows that.
Yeah.
And it was easy for KDB to leave Chelsea to Wolfsburg, regular football and a pay rise. The contract some have at Newcastle, they will never get anywhere else. Football is a short career. Facts. Absolutely, Mac. I hope you're well, man. And there were 20,000 Burnley fans running their cars last need to drive Trafford to Newcastle. Does not sound good. Let's hope Howe and Trafford proves them wrong. And you know what it is, right? I mean, if Alan's true to form, I tell you something, right? I mean, if Burnley fans were gone, don't look good for us. But do you know what? Goalkeeper, you never know. You never ever know. But if he comes, we're gonna have to support the guy. But one thing I'm gonna say, he will be a number 2 to Nick Pope anyway. So let's be real. I'll back this keeper. I'll back this keeper if he comes. So you look at the players like people say like T Livramento, too young. Lewis Hall, too young. Yeah. Look at them. They turned out to be fantastic.
Yeah.
You know, and Carlos as well. Afternoon to you, man. I hope you're well. And great show, guys. Great guest, Shelly. Thanks for your insight. That's an Ethan. And he's the one he loves to. I nearly fell a fast on him about Feyenoord. I did not read his name because I knew who the captain was anyway. But there you go. But there you go. Right, you're going to wrap up the show there because I know you've got busy time as well. And it's been a while, hasn't it? It's been a while.
It has. It certainly has.
And where can we find you on your socials, Shelly? For people who don't know, I'm going to put it on there now.
So like I say, I am on X, formerly Twitter, at Shell_Crawford1. I'm also knocking around on Instagram around there somewhere. I do believe it's Shelly Crawford1 or something along them lines. So yeah, like, follow. I'll obviously follow back. I am looking at some subscriptions on there, but obviously Twitter being Twitter at the moment, you've got to have like 10,000 insights into God knows whatever else and everything else. And so, but yeah, if you want to follow us, guys, you're more than welcome. If you don't, I'm not going to take any hardship to it.
Yeah, fair enough. Just to get her followed as well, and she'll be happy to follow you back as well. She loves football, talks and breathes football every single day. And I tell you what, Shelly insight is second to none as well. And John and Shelly, ask West Ham fans if we go back to Upton Park, 90% will say yes. And why have Liverpool not moved? Fair question.
Yeah.
Fair question. And go on to great show, guys. Thank you, Alan. And you got to follow as well. You got to follow as well. Could drop a Donny as well. Big up Drops as well. Thank you for following Shell. Great back and John and Jelly plus the chat. Take care as well. I'll be jumping on Tony's channel in the next 10 minutes or so. He's doing the transfer show as well, Black and White TV. Join us for that as well, guys. Yeah. And it's going to be interesting. I'm sure he's got other things to talk about as well. And by the way, we are not in the know. We know absolutely nothing. So what you got coming up this afternoon, Joe? You got any plans this afternoon or?
I'm gonna have a chill out because it's back to work for 6 days as of tomorrow. So I'm just I'm enjoying me 2 bit days off that I've had because I've just had 8 days of sheer hell. So I'm just gonna chill out for the rest of the afternoon, possibly have an early night and go from there.
Don't blame me at all because you work so damn hard. You work hard. So, well, I'll really quickly backstage, very, very quickly, right? And guys, I'll be on to the show in a minute. I'll be back on again in the week. You guys open for that. And how well will you Newcastle do next season? I think
top 4.
Fourth?
I'm saying top 4. I'd like we to win, but I'm going top 4 right now.
I'm going to say a trophy. We have to win a trophy. Yeah. I'll put a trophy before top 4. I'll be having a trophy. If that means finish 7th or 8th, as long as you win a trophy. Elite sports, it's all about winning.
Yeah.
Trophies. So there you go. So that's a good question, Phil. Thanks for that, man. And we're going to wrap up the show there, guys. Thanks for watching this chat. Thanks to Shelly as well. I will do backstage quickly and Shell as well. And make sure you like and subscribe to the podcast. Do follow Shell until Crawford 1. And as always, it's been fantastic. And have a fantastic afternoon. I'll see you there in the next 5-10 minutes or so. And as always, got one from Alan as well. I'm just chilling with time, and guys, yes, trophies, John. Yes, trophies. And Mackie Jack as well, the big thumbs up as well. Thank you, Mackie G. And as always, guys, thanks for watching us. Until then,